Hey guys, we're up for chapter 2.
There we
and
go.
we got audience of 1 in here right now. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I was gonna fix it, but it was like bothering me. Anyways, chapter 2 of To Love a Stranger.
Because
You remember where we left off.
Some of us are super invested, and we can't wait until Saturday to read anymore.
Woohoo!
Yeah!
Yeah, let's go! Anyways, if you remember where we left off last time.
So,
the
the
male's
chapter
being a
ended-
stupid male.
The chapter ended with Jasper and Bessie meeting in person, but
He was not pleased, which we
He-
kind of knew was gonna happen, but
well, yeah, because her sister.
we accepted. I expected disappointment, obviously, because he was gonna meet Bessie for the first time in person.
He was in love with her, not Bessie, because he was corresponding with Bessie's sister, Lenore.
Lenore just used her,
She used a picture of herself, but
then
using
named
her
his
sister's
sister,
name.
Yeah. Anyways, so you can imagine Jasper's disappointment when a average-looking woman steps off with the coach, and it's not some goddess-looking woman. I don't even know.
Goddess.
Goddess? I don't know.
Wow, that's like sacrilege.
I don't mean it like that, but
That was a little harsh.
we get an ordinary he gets an ordinary girl when
He was expecting some.
10 out of 10 or something like that. I don't know.
But we're gonna
Anyways.
find out what happens in chapter 2.
Let's see if I can
She's
find
ready.
it.
She's ready.
Oh, yeah. She
Oh.
can't wait anymore. Chapter 2.
Begin. Oh my goodness. Oh,
I pinched my finger in between the things. This little thing. Where it opens.
She's waiting. I'm waiting.
I'm sorry,
They're
I'm sorry,
waiting.
I'm sorry. Bessie saw every knothole, every nail on the boardwalk as she followed her new husband across the fort to meet his family. Can you imagine Jesse? New husband. What if he set the marriage aside? What if she had come all this way only to be sent back in disgrace? He had done nothing to endear himself to her, but she couldn't bear the thought of going back to Boston. What would people think? Your sister's a lunatic. Fort Bridger bustled with activity. Men tipped their hats at her as they passed on wide boardwalk, and several women stared inquisitively at her.
At Bessie.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
there is no other woman in this.
They're just
Fort Bridger.
tipping their hats, or yeah. Right?
Being
Right?
gentlemen. They seemed especially taken with her hat. It was new and the height of fashion, but Bessie wanted to fling the hat away so she could creep through the fort without being noticed. Did they all know Jasper was expecting a beautiful wife? Jasper! She turned at the sound of a feminine voice. Oh, a young woman stepped from the nearby general store and waved her hand in their direction. Miriam.
Okay.
Jasper.
Okay.
Jasper tipped his hat at the vision in blue. Her
The
hat.
vision?
The
in
vision
blue?
In blue.
Hello.
Love triangle. If there's a love triangle in here, I'm gonna have.
It's not, because
It better not be.
he was in love with,
Lenore.
yeah.
Anyways.
I'm sure he'd swap out with, what's her name?
Miriam.
Miriam. He had a choice.
Swap Bessie with Miriam. Let's go. Her hat was perched atop a cluster of dark curls, and her gown, although last year's fashion, enhanced her slim figure. Bessie smiled at her uncertainly. Bessie, this is my... Oh, it's his cousin. We're good. Bessie, this is my cousin Miriam, Jasper said. Miriam tapped him on the arm with her fan.
Sorry. My sleeve was just bothering me.
Why do you insist on pretending we are related? She pouted.
Beg your pardon?
Jessica is my cousin only by adoption. You and I are not.
Wait.
I mean, they were in the adoption in the prologue. Like, they mentioned it in the prologue of how Jasper and Jesse were, in a
Oh, they were like
orphan
adopted
home.
sibling. Oh, no.
No, like Jasper and Jessie
They
are
were in separate orphan homes.
yes. Oh, okay. That makes so
Gotcha.
much sense now. Miriam, I'd like you to meet Bessie, my wife. Miriam's eyes widened and she shot a venomous glare at Bessie. Then her gray eyes filled with tears and she took a step back. She whirled and practically ran down the boardwalk.
Oh, that was Miriam who was crying and ran away.
Because he said they were
That makes-
married? Boy.
Okay, interesting. She cares for you. Bessie felt sorry for the girl. Jasper sighed. Perhaps, but the feeling is not mutual. She is too much like a younger sister. I never intended to hurt her, though. He sounded grieved. Jasper had a softer heart than she had imagined. Heartened, she took his arm again, and they continued down the boardwalk. So cringy.
Keep reading!
All the air left her chest at the thought of meeting his family. They would surely be just as astonished at her appearance as Jasper had been. Oh boy. Her heart fluttered in her chest like a frightened bird. At least he hadn't denounced her and cast her out at first sight, but she had seen the disappointment in his eyes when he looked at her. And who could blame him? Lenore was a scarlet cardinal. She was a brown wren. Are those birds?
Yes.
I know the first one is. What's
A
the
wren?
Yeah,
It's
what-
a small bird.
Oh,
It's a
those
brown
ugly
bird.
ones. Those ugly
They're not-
ones.
Yeah,
I
no.
think they're
Bird's a
ugly.
bird.
This poor woman.
It's empty.
Obviously. She drew her shawl around her shoulders to ward off both the chill of the wind and the coldness of his rejection. Had she really expected he would take one look at her and forget Lenore? She blinked back tears and squared her shoulders.
This poor girl.
She might not be a beauty, but there is more to being a good wife than beauty, wasn't there? Yes. Or was that truly the only important thing to men? She hadn't had enough experience to know. Fort Bridger was an attractive place. The walk they were on led past neatly,
Whitewashed.
thank you, homes with wide front porches and small yards with spring flowers poking up through the soil. Bessie liked what she saw. It was so different from Boston, small and quaint as if they'd stepped back to a gentler time. They stopped outside a small whitewashed cabin with a curl of smoke escaping from the chimney. The front stoop was barely large enough for them both to stand on. Jasper rapped once on the door, then pushed it open. Jessica, we're here. The tantalizing aroma of beef stew wafted down the hall, and Bessie's stomach rumbled. The fare had been poor on the stage route, and she'd eaten mostly hard bread and bits of salt pork. Now she was suddenly
Ravenous.
ravenous.
She's famished.
The poor girl is crying, feels unwanted, and starving.
Yeah, that'll do it.
This makes me want to cry.
I'm not crying. I'm more emotional than you are, and I'm not crying about this yet.
A
What's that?
lovely red-haired woman hurried toward them. The gentle bulge under her skirt proclaimed the arrival of a new baby in a few months.
Who's this?
Jessica.
Jessica. Okay.
Jessie, the Jasper's sister. She had to be Jasper's sister. They both had those vivid blue eyes. He's got blue eyes?
Oh,
Hello?
he's got that going for him too. I guess like if there was a picture, it would only be black and white in 1868.
Valid, but we would at least have an idea of what he looks like. Instead
Well,
of
now
our
okay,
imaginations.
he's
Blue.
tall, he's got blue eyes, square jaw,
And a hump nose.
and and he's strong too.
He's-
Apparently,
muscular.
he's tall and
He's
strong
and
and
handsome.
oh, I didn't have anything after that.
Tall, dark, and handsome.
And then some. Oh.
They both had those vivid blue eyes that tilted up at the corners. Her smile was welcoming, but it seemed to hold a touch of reserve at the same time. She looked at Bessie, then turned to Jasper with a question in her eyes. He cleared his throat. Jessica, this is Bessie. Bessie, my sister, Jessica. Jessica's mouth dropped open, but she quickly recovered and held out her hand. Welcome, Bessie. I always wanted a sister. I look forward to getting acquainted. Come into the
She
kitchen.
did not sound like that in the prologue.
Nope, we're about to sit down for supper, but we were waiting for you. Bessie could sense the discomfort emanating.
Emanating?
Yes, thank you. Oh
Wait,
my
did I even
word.
say that right?
Emanating?
Where? Emanating.
Emanating from her husband. It hadn't
Got
introduced.
that.
He hadn't introduced her as his wife.
I'm not literate.
She had to wonder why when he had told Miriam what.
Obviously. I know what the word is. No, I do point at it like you didn't know.
To keep my place. Obviously, Jessica had seen the picture of Lenore as well. Oh, why hadn't she thought to ask Lenore if she had sent a photograph? Tears pricked the back of her eyes, but she forced them away. She would take one step at a time. A dark-haired giant of a man stood when they came through the door. Unlike his wife's, his welcoming smile held no trace of surprise or wariness. Bessie warmed to him instantly. So, this is my new sister. Welcome to Fort Bridger, Bessie. His large hand enveloped hers.
Wait, who is this?
Clay, Jessica's husband.
Okay. Okay. I didn't hear the name. Was there a name?
No, but if you listen, you'd... Oh, my, you're impossible. Anywho, this is what you're reading. I know. A little blonde girl was seated at the far end of the table. Hello, my name is Franny. What's yours?
Franny?
I'm 3.
Franny.
This is a new character to us. We don't know who this is.
Wait.
I don't know who this is. We just met her.
Franny.
She's Flea.
3.
Flea. Bessie's... This is not a jam sesh. This is a reading sesh. Bessie smiled at her in relief. She loved children. I'm Bessie. She wanted to tell the child she was her new aunt. Oh, so that's Jessica's and Clay's daughter.
So we've already got it.
But
So
what
the-
if Jasper didn't let her stay? I'm very glad to meet you, Franny. I've heard lots about you from your Uncle Jasper. She had.
Probably in the letters. Because Lenore gave the letters to her.
She sensed his start of surprise and realized how her words sounded, like she had been corresponding with him. He would be convinced she had been a part of the deception. Jessica interrupted before she could continue. Sit down. You can tell us all about yourself over supper. Well, you know my sister? I'm the opposite, so it's pretty close. Bessie slid reluctantly into the seat beside her. Franny and Jasper sat beside her. In spite of her hunger, she didn't know how she could force a morsel of food down with all of them looking at her. Yeah, this is a very awkward situation for this poor girl. Clay said grace, then passed around the stew. Have you always lived in Boston? Bessie nodded. All my life. This is very different from what I'm used to. It's lovely, though. Even the terrain looks wild and untamed. Jessica glanced at her brother. So you two have been writing to one another over 6 months, Jasper says. I must say you don't look quite like your picture.
Jessica said that?
Yep.
Okay.
Bessie gulped and drew a deep breath. What should she say? The silence drew out for a long moment before Jasper cleared his throat. I mistakenly showed you a picture of Bessie's sister, Lenore. He turned to his brother-in-law. Did you hear about this? Oh, he's changing subject now. He turned to his brother-in-law. Did you hear about the Synox attack up north yesterday?
This what? Seahawks.
Seahawks, yeah. Bessie was glad to let the men talk while she gathered her composure. Her cheeks burned with mortification, and she could barely hold the tears at bay. She thought she had done... Are you done with that? Keep reading.
I might go get water. Now I'll go get water.
I'm going to keep reading.
Yeah,
You
keep
want me to
reading.
Pause? Okay. She thought she had done the right thing to come, but now she would give anything to be back in her home in Boston. This tangle became worse every moment. At least
Tangle.
tangle.
Okay, I heard tango.
Tango? Oh my goodness. At least Jasper had made it seem as though it was his fault about the picture. That was kind of him. She sent him a smile, and he smiled briefly before he frowned and turned away. This poor girl! She was aware of Jessica's probing gaze all through dinner, and although it was kindly, it still discomforted her. She knew her sister-in-law was full of questions. After supper, the men retired to the parlor while she helped Jessica clear away the supper dishes. Franny helped them and kept up a steady chatter. Bessie was thankful for the distraction. She dreaded more questions from Jessica. Just before they joined the men, Jessica put her hand on Bessie's arm. I don't quite...
Don't touch me.
For real. I don't quite know what's going on in this courtship, but I want to tell you, I think you'll be very good for Jasper.
Where was the soft
I
loving
thought
Jessica,
she was like
right?
totally against it in the prologue.
Yeah, exactly. She was very hardcore against it, like very opinionated, and now she's super nice and soft and all this
Maybe
stuff.
it's because, like in the picture, she's like explaining what she thinks the girl's like refined and like she said, like she was so beautiful and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess because Bessie looks, I guess, more common.
She's
not as like, okay, I'm not gonna say like gaudy, but like, yeah, she looks a
Yeah.
lot more plain.
She's a
and
plain
simple.
Jane.
Maybe that's why.
She hesitated, then continued with a sparkle in her eyes. I was afraid he was getting some hothouse society beauty from the East who would lead him on a merry chase. If there's ever anything I can do to help, just ask. I'm here for you both. Bessie lost the struggle against her tears. Thank you, Jessica. I'll do my best to be a good wife. She struggled to stifle her sobs. What would Jasper think if he came in and saw her crying to his sister? He would despise. Oh my
Deprive.
word! Despise. And it's gone.
Her all the more.
Thank you. Her all the more. My goodness, don't cry. Jasper will think I've been asking nosy questions in here, and Clay will scold me. She gave her a handkerchief. Why are you giving all this sass over here?
I'm just like,
She gave her a handkerchief. Things will work out. Do your best and trust God for the rest. Preach it, sister. Thank you, Bessie managed. When the women entered the parlor, Clay. His name's Clay. Clay smiled at his wife and patted the seat beside him on the threadbare sofa. Jasper gave Bessie a stiff smile and moved over so she could join him on the settee.
Yeah,
Settee.
settee.
She sat gingerly on the edge and tried not
It's
to
like a
crowd
couch.
him. Thank you. You kind of got that. This was the closest she had been to him since she arrived, and a flush warmed her cheeks. And she's pale, so that flush.
She won't be, not in the West. She won't be pale anymore.
No, she'll get a nice tan. I have some news for all of you, he announced once they had all gotten settled. The column leaves for Fort Bowie Tuesday. No, Jasper, not so soon, Jessica wailed. We haven't had enough time to get reacquainted, and Bessie and I have hardly even had a chance to talk. Bessie looked from her new husband to Jessica, then back again. What did he mean? Where was Fort Bowie? Oh, she doesn't know.
Wait, no. She would have known he was a soldier because she read the letters.
But she didn't know that they were going to have to move from Fort Bridger to Fort Bowie.
Oh, man.
Oh, yikes. And she finds out in front of his family. He turned toward her. I've been reassigned to Fort Bowie, Arizona Territory. Bessie felt lightheaded. Apaches were in the Arizona Territory. She had heard many stories about the feared Indians. Did he expect her to go into a place like that? She would just refuse. She could either go home or stay here until he returned. He questioned the truth of their marriage anyway. She opened her mouth to tell him so, but Jessica beat him to it. You can't take Bessie there. Bessie came all this way for a husband. I don't imagine she would allow me to leave her behind.
Wait, he said that?
I think
Bessie
so.
came all this way for her husband. I don't imagine she would allow me to leave her behind.
Yeah, that
I
was...
feel like there's...
I'd be okay
I'm
with
so-
it.
I'm so
I just met you. Go die in war. It's fine. Not actually.
She's gonna kill her sisters if they set her up with somebody unintentionally,
I don't.
and then she's just gonna say, "Go off to the and die."
I wouldn't actually want him to die.
She don't
But
care.
I'd be okay with being left behind. We can write letters some more. I'm sorry. No, this poor woman. This poor woman. Was that a touch of mockery in his voice? He surely didn't really want her to go, did he? This would be the perfect opportunity for him to get rid of her. He smiled, a slight upturn of his firm lips, but his expression convinced Bessie. If this marriage had any hope at all, she had to try. She knew he still questioned her motives, but perhaps on the long trip to Arizona Territory, she would have a chance to answer his doubts. The candles had burned low by the time Jasper stood and announced it was time for bed. Bessie's heavy eyelids popped open at the mention of bed. Oh my goodness!
Up there.
Oh, Nana, stop. You're not making this any better.
Ew, gross.
Where was she to sleep? She couldn't share a bed with him yet. She just couldn't. Since he questioned the marriage, he surely didn't expect her to. Her mouth dry, she clenched her fists in the folds of her dress and frantically tried to think of an excuse. I've put a bed in the hall for Bessie, Jasper. Are you staying at Officers Row for now? Jessica asked. He nodded. There was no reason to He nodded. There was no reason to request quarters for just a few days. He laid a hand on her shoulder. Shoulder!
Put your head
On my shoulder. Oh, Nana knows that song.
She should have joined us.
I didn't know that.
That's a really old song.
The oldies are so good, though. I'll see you in the morning.
Oldie but a goodie.
Bessie breathed a sigh of relief when he turned and left the house. At least God had spared her that problem. I expect you're exhausted. Let me show you to your bed. Jessica showed Bessie to her tiny curtained off
Alcove.
Thank you. In the hall and left her alone. Bessie sat on the edge of the bed and took off her
She had her
ridiculous
hat on the whole time?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's terrible.
1868.
She disrobed quickly and pulled her nightgown on. With the curtain pulled, she would. It was like
She had her own secluded place. She was in an alcove.
glad to be alone, even though lonely tears burned her eyes. She missed her large room with the familiar quilt her grandmother made. Why hadn't she told her parents the entire story? They don't know. Her father would have found some way to fix it. Instead, she had allowed herself to be swayed by her sister's tears and her own thoughts of a husband and children. At this moment, she saw no way she and Jasper would ever have the kind of marriage she'd hoped to have. This poor girl.
Thanks, Lenore.
For real, if Lenore had been here, she could have cheerfully throttled her.
Well, I guess you two have something in common. Yeah.
I'll throttle you.
You said you didn't know what you were gonna do. Well, it's physical. Breathe.
Try not to die on my water over here.
Swallow it.
I tried, but you were making me laugh.
You're welcome.
Wait, can we get Starbucks on the way to choir practice? Okay, we'll order on ahead.
10,000 hours.
10,000 more. Okay, so ever since Lenore was born, Bessie had been compared to her lovely sister. That is so sad. Bessie longed for someone to love her, to think she was wonderful. If she had only known Jasper, had seen a picture of Lenore, she would have handled this very differently. She squeezed her eyes shut. Please, Lord, please make him love me. It was her last thought before the long trip took its toll and sleep claimed her. This Lord, make him love me.
Okay, we've gone over at least 4 times in this chapter, or maybe not even. That she's saying if she had only known Lenore had sent a picture of herself. I mean, we get that. That's just my vent right now. The repetitiveness is crazy.
She feels ugly compared to her sister and feels bad that Jasper has to wake up and see her. Put yourself in the character's shoes. Oh, is that impossible for you? Yes, she's
she
praying
was
and asking God. This poor woman.
Please make him love me. That's like such a simple. That's so. Oh.
That's so heartbreaking. I feel so sad for her. She awoke to the sounds of bugles and the shouts of men. Her eyes felt gritty, and she was reluctant to leave the warmth of her bed. For a moment, she wondered where she was until she heard a deep voice call, 6 o'clock and it's all...
And all's well.
And all's well. Oh, she was at Fort Bridger, and all was not well. Her new husband and his family would be looking her over again today. She sighed and sat up. Today was a new day, a fresh start. Lenora would have given up and gone home, but Bessie hadn't come this far to turn tail and run. She had always stayed in the background, but this was her only opportunity to prove to herself and to Jasper that she could be a good wife. Gathering her courage, she slipped out of bed and quickly washed. She pulled on a blue
Chintz.
chintz.
CHINZ. TZ. Chintz. I think it's chintz.
Then pushed aside the blankets that curtained off her.
Partition.
Thank you. I'm seeing double at this point. Her new husband sat beside the fire with Franny on his lap. Bessie could smell. Oh wait. Okay, so this guy. How old is this guy?
What?
How old is Jasper?
I don't know. Is he younger?
I'd be disgusted if he was younger. Although I don't know. Because he thought he was going to get some 21-year-old Lenore. Anyways.
Lenore. You say that so...
I'm sorry.
Lenore. Like it's... That
Lenore.
sounds horrible.
I'm sorry. Her new husband sat beside the fire with Franny on his lap. Bessie could smell the aroma of coffee and fresh-made bread. For just an instant, she fantasized that this was her home and Franny was her daughter. Her face burned at the thought. Jasper was dressed in his blue uniform. He's a redhead. He's a ginger.
No!
No.
This is a chintz.
Chintz is a historically significant, often glazed cotton fabric originating from India, 17th century, that features vibrant, multicolored floral or exotic designs.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So
These are snowflakes. I said these were snowflakes.
What is that? Jasper.
My brain.
His red hair slicked down with hair tonic.
Oh.
Okay. His broad shoulders filled out his jacket nicely, and the tenderness in his
hair
face.
tonic? Sorry, can we go back to hair tonic?
So hair gel? Did men dye their hair back then? He should dye his hair. He's got blue eyes and he's dark hair. I'm sorry.
Some redhead is some gingers aren't that bad. Maybe he's just
No.
She's so biased. Personality?
So far, his
And your
personality
faith?
isn't doing so much for me right now.
And if he knows Jesus.
Okay, that's 1 out of 3. At least give me 2 out of 3.
You need standards, woman.
Oh, I had standards. No gingers allowed.
No gingers.
I take after my
Blech.
father. Sorry, he's not into gingers either.
He's married.
Okay, but even before, obviously with children, I'm here. But no, like, before he met Mom, he was like, no. It was great. I was like, oh, well, I guess I know where I get that from. Anyways, I got totally sidetracked. His broad shoulders filled out his jacket nicely, and the tenderness in his face when he looked at Franny tugged at Bessie's heartstrings. Would he ever look at her like that? This poor woman. This poor girl. Watch her go back to Boston and him realize he was stupid and then run after her.
Ouch.
Jasper looked up and his gaze locked with hers. A slight hint of color rose on his cheeks.
You blush.
Hello?
Ooh.
He stood and set Franny on her feet. Run, tell Mama that Bessie is ready for her breakfast. He continued to regard her gravely for a moment. Did you sleep well? I don't remember, she smiled. He grinned. That's a good sign. They stared at one another for a long moment. Then Bessie's face went hot and she looked down at her hands. When do we leave for Arizona Territory? Actually, the departure has been moved up. We leave tomorrow. His blue eyes searched her face. Are you sure you want to do this, Bessie? I have to be honest, it's a hard place to live. You seem... He broke off and looked away. I seem what? His gaze caught hers again. Frail, timid, shy. I'm not at all sure you are up to the challenge. Excuse me?
Who are you to
Mister?
judge her? You just met her yesterday.
What's this girl?
Although I guess like
Mr. Wrong.
first
Glance.
no, first
Impression.
impression. Thank you. Would help. 'Cause
She
was
pressed-
kind of like, yeah.
She pressed her lips together. Appearances could be deceiving. Would a frail, timid woman even have come this far? She thought not. Why are you saying this now? Why didn't you mention it in your letters? The Bessie I thought I knew would have relished the challenge. I wanted to surprise her. Her temper flared at the condensation in his tone. I'm not the frail bird you seem to think I am. I may be small and plain, but I have grit and determination. I can see
Pause.
your
That says condescension. That says I just had it in my brain. It's condescension.
That's what I said.
You said condensation.
Oh, same difference. Oops. You just
Condensation.
You just ruined her comeback. I'm
Condensation is a water part of the water cycle.
sorry. Oh yeah. These words are tiny, and I don't have my glasses, so
You're so funny sometimes.
I'm gonna start over with her.
She
comeback.
gives me the perfect setups. It's so funny.
So Jasper called her frail, shy, and timid, and saying pretty much that he doesn't think she can make the trip. So now at this point, she's angry. And we're about to read her comeback. I'm not the frail bird.
You'll have to make up for condensation after that one.
I'm gonna make. I'm not the frail bird you seem to think I am. I may be small and plain, but I have grit and determination. I can see you're disappointed, but you're not what I expected either. Your letters seem to reveal a man with humor and good nature. Jasper raised an eyebrow. I never deceived you. I mean, Lenore. I never pretended to be someone I was not. I didn't either. The deed was done by the time I found out about it. What do you intend? Divorce? The ugly
Wow,
word.
that was
The ugly
fast.
word hung in the air between them. It might be an annulment, he said slowly. When we reach Arizona Territory, I'll consult an attorney and see where we stand. We can then make a decision on what to do. He smiled. If you're with me, at least I'll have someone to talk to when the wolves are howling outside the door and the scorpions are trying to get in.
He just doesn't want her to go.
She's
He's like scaring her. He's like trying to scare her into not going.
Yeah. She felt faint at the word picture he drew. Then she saw the mirth in
Mirth.
Mirth. Thank you. Word in his eyes and realized he was teasing. She sent him a feeble grin. I shall just invite them in for supper. That will frighten them away. A look of surprise raced across his face. Is your cooking that bad? Well, let me put it this way. Indigestion would be the least of your worries. He laughed, and Bessie liked the sound of his deep chuckle.
Oh my goodness, that's cute.
We'll get along somehow. I'm a pretty fair cook myself. His smile faded, and he turned toward the door. Be ready to leave at 6. She nodded and watched him leave. This was her first glimpse of the humor and wit she had seen in his letters. But what did it matter if he intended to find a way out of their marriage? She went to the kitchen to find some breakfast. Excuse me. Jessica smiled in welcome. Are you hungry? There's hot coffee and bread with jam. I'd love some. I'm famished. Bessie sat at the table and took the cup of coffee Jessie handed her. She was already beginning to feel Jessica could be a friend. She spread some blackberry jam on a slice of warm bread and bit into it, but her hands trembled. Jessica sat beside her. What's wrong? You seem distressed. Bessie took a sip of coffee. Everything is so new and strange. I felt the same way. Jessica hesitated, and her gaze probed Bessie's face. But I feel you're upset about something more. Do you want to talk about it? Bessie longed to pour her heart out into this woman, but her loyalties would lie with her brother. She shook her head. I'll be fine in a few days. I thank you for caring, though. I want to help if I can. I've so recently found Jasper. I want to do all in my power to ensure his happiness, and yours too, of course. What do you mean you recently found Jasper? The two of you seem so close. Jessica ran a hand over the gentle swell of her belly. Our mother died when we were small, and we were adopted by different families. Neither of us knew what had happened to the other. Clay knew I had a brother and decided we would find him and surprise him. Clay's mother supported an orphanage in Texas and had some connections with the one in Ohio where Jasper and I were taken. Clay's mother had made some inquiries for him and found out Jasper's new name. Clay then tracked him down. He was stationed at Fort
Laramie
when Clay contacted him. At our wedding, he was waiting at the altar as Clay's best man. It was the most wonderful surprise of my life. Her eyes were misty with remembered emotion. Tears filled Bessie's eyes. Perhaps that was why Jasper was willing to take a mail order bride. He had been deprived of a loving home when he was small, and now he craved a family and stability. Lenore wouldn't have been capable of the selfless love Jasper needed, but Bessie was. She knew she could fill the void in his heart if he would only let her in.
Oh, that's chapter 2.
That's
good. Good reaction there.
Right? I love that she's like snapping back at him though. Like, okay, you want to play
She's
games
like,
with
don't
me?
tell me what I am.
For real. I just feel so bad for her though.
I think she's warming up pretty nice.
I mean, yeah, but like
she's going with it to go to Arizona.
Yeah. Even though she knows it's gonna end in divorce.
You know that's not gonna happen.
I mean, no, but that's what they want us to think, so we'll just go with it.
Christian author, Colleen Coble, Christian author. But it's technically like a Hallmark movie. It always has happy endings.
We just don't have an annoying Elizabeth Thatcher in this book.
Yeah. Positive reaction over here with our one-person audience. It's good, though.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. Stay tuned for chapter 3. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. What time is it?
3:30.
3:30?
Oh, we gotta leave soon.
What time are we leaving?
Choir practice is at 5.
So we're leaving at 4:30? Girl, that's another hour. We could get another chapter in today.
We could. Maybe. We'll see. Stay tuned for chapter 3.